Missing mother found alive after 24 years, doesn't want any contact with the family. Guys, this move wasn't symbolic. This was obviously calculated, guys. All right? Understand that. Let's counter it, guys.
It was just after 8:30 at night on December 9th, 2001, when mom of three, Michelle Hunley Smith, said goodbye to her children, ages 19, 14, and just 7 years old.
Okay.
Said she was going Christmas shopping at Kmart about
Wow.
17 miles away, a routine trip. Michelle left her home in Eden, North Carolina, driving a green 1995 Pontiac Transport van, and she never made it home again. And it wasn't until 22 days later, on December 31st, New Year's Eve, that Michelle's husband reported her missing. The Rockingham County Sheriff's Office.
Why did it take you so long?
With multiple agencies, including the FBI. They combed the route between Eden and Martinsville, Virginia. This is where the Kmart was located. Found nothing. And despite years of investigation, no trace of Michelle or her van was ever found. The case went cold. Michelle's children grew up wondering, did she have an accident? Was it foul play?
Right.
Did she simply walk away? And then last week, detectives suddenly get fresh new information about the case. They follow up, and on February 20th, they announce they found her, Michelle Hunley Smith, alive, now in her 60s, living a whole new life somewhere in North Carolina. She's safe. And then comes the part that no one expected. At her request, police are not sharing her location, and she does not want contact with her family, has asked for privacy. I'm joined now by Sheriff Sam Page with the Rockingham County Sheriff's Office to talk more about this. Thanks so much for taking the time. Any idea, did she give you any idea about why she left her family?
Well, I did have some information pertaining to that. Is when she was located, she was asked that basic question, and she said apparently there were some ongoing domestic issues at the time that she departed. She left on her own accord, but it was a reference to some ongoing domestic issues.
Is that something that you were able to corroborate?
No, probably not.
At this point in time, we're not aware of any domestic calls or anything that I can be advised of that I can relate that occurred prior to her departure.
Did she?
It looks like she. Go ahead, sir. I'm sorry.
I apologize. I interrupted you.
No, I'm just saying. It looks like apparently she left on her own accord, but she did reference to domestic related issues.
Did she explain how she would be able to leave her children behind despite that, or not contact them?
That's a good question here, guys.
I think we had a lot of information on that at this.
Okay, guys, hold on. Let me interject for a second here. Listen, if that's the scenario that you are currently in, and then you just decide to, I guess, leave your children, like in that specific environment that you are basically saying, hey, listen, the reason why I disappeared, she didn't use her credit. Like, she didn't use cards, she didn't use her name. Like, what's going on here, guys? But either way, if you leave your kids in that situation and you're saying that there were a lot of like domestic squabbles happening, why would you leave your kids there? Let's just be completely honest here immediately.
I don't think we got a lot of information.
How was she found exactly?
Well, I can't tell you exactly how she was found. Well, if I can just go into a little bit of detail, is when this case first started unfolding, we reached out to the FBI, different law enforcement agencies in Virginia and North Carolina, the State Bureau of Investigation from North Carolina, the DEA, and we started putting a lot of information out there, and also their databases. We work with the NCIC, the National Crime Information Center, and we share a lot of information across the country. And a lot of times with that information we put in, if somebody runs across a vehicle, runs across a tag, runs across a name, or if somebody's found a body's found DNA information, we have that available. And a lot of times that helps us to solve these cases. On this particular case, we hadn't gotten any information or anything. It went basically cold at that point. But any leads that we had available, we worked diligently. But on February 20th, information came in on the 19th to one of our dispatchers and relayed that to the chief investigator. They assigned it to detectives to follow up on this information, and they located Michelle Hunley Smith, in another county within North Carolina.
Two questions for you. Any idea what she's been doing? And two, how was she able to avoid being found?
I don't have that information. And again, a lot of times people just can't just drop off the planet, Right. But we do track all information, but sometimes people avoid certain things to avoid identification, and it can happen.
Okay, guys. So how is she not being like charged with child abandonment though? Like, listen, again, you had your children here, but yet you didn't care to take them out. You're saying that there were issues there, but so how is she exactly? Right? Like, if she's not trying to go back, she's not really giving any real information. What happened to the vehicle? Was the vehicle ever sold? I mean, obviously the vehicle has a VIN number. Did you ever find the VIN number? Did you find the tag? Guys, there's so many questions here,
Does
guys.
she have, I mean, can you tell us, does she have a whole other family, children?
The only thing I can tell you is from our position at this point is that she was located safe.
Okay.
There was no foul play in her going missing. She left on her own accord. She has relayed to us at this point is that it was domestic related issues leading up to her departure.
Right.
And her husband at the time and children knew that she was going to shopping around Christmas time or before Christmas time, but shortly before. And she was going up to to Martinsville, Virginia, which is like 17 miles away. And all those areas were checked. And and nowadays with the technology we have now, we have license plate readers in different locations around different
Right.
states and different locations. So those types of technologies could have been beneficial, I think, if we'd had them in place then. But a lot of things have moved forward in the past 24 years, of course.
100%. 100%.
And so, but I will say this: hard work by the detectives, sharing information and every tidbit of information they could get out there and following up on those leads does make a difference on these cases. And this information, I would just say, came forward because some of that information clicked.
Right.
And we were notified. It came back to the originating agency, which was the Rockingham County Sheriff's Office. Our investigators got out there.
So
made
Sheriff,
contact.
I have a limited time. I want to ask you real quick as we're looking to see if we'll get more information. Is she going to be charged at all, criminally charged?
Right. Hold
spoke
on.
with the district attorney today.
Okay.
And the district attorney advised me that she was informed about this case, where this person has been missing for 24 years. She has requested a formal review of this investigation, our district attorney has, to determine if charges will be forthcoming.
Okay, yeah,
That's
they
kind of
need
where
to
we
be,
are in
guys.
that
I'm sorry.
conversation.
They need to
And
be.
do you know whether or not she lied to law enforcement, misled law enforcement, anything of that?
At any
nature, I
time?
guess, would maybe be
The
potentially.
only comment is kind of what I can release it to you at this point.
Okay.
Okay.
That's fair.
So again, the district attorney will be reviewing the full information from the report, full case review, and then with our detectives, and then if charges are forthcoming, I will be advised on that.
All right.
I appreciate everybody's hard work on this case. It means a lot when your team puts it together and can bring closure in some respect, but it also brings back up a lot of emotions also.
I can imagine.
I'm sure it's incredibly difficult
For all of the
family,
kids.
And great police work. Sheriff Sam Page, thank you so much for taking.
Okay, guys. All right, so guys, hear me out for a second here. Let me just go ahead and play like devil's advocate here. I can only imagine if a guy did this here, basically, leaving his marital home with his kids in his house, and then he was like, "Hey, listen, 24 years later, you found me, you got me, here I am." All right, he'd be charged and I mean brutally with child abandonment, bro. You abandoned your children. Right? I mean, you left your children to someone else to basically take care of indefinitely. Yes, that other person was obviously the other parent, but that doesn't really change the fact that child abandonment needs to probably be levied upon this person, guys. And I mean large scale. I get it. You're saying all of these things, but unfortunately, judges really do not care about your emotion. They don't care about your feelings. They care about what you can prove, right? So unfortunately, in a scenario like this here, guys, you can say this, but yet, how did I know immediately there were no calls or any type of backlogged records or any of these things here? I mean, I think that's kind of the problem. Listen, if you're going through something, please immediately call someone. You need to create a paper trail. And I mean a deep, consistent paper trail. Make sure you have all of your ducks in a row here. So if this was to actually happen, you'd have proof of why you kind of ran off. But still, I'm not sure that's going to shield you from the fact that you abandoned your children in a house that you're basically saying is that has domestic issues. Okay. So that's a little bit troubling, personally. And again, what happened to the vehicle? Where is it at? Did it get crushed? Because if that was the case, I mean, I'm pretty sure they checked the VIN numbers on things. So what happened to the vehicle? Where is it at? Okay, and then why hasn't it been found for 24 years? There are a couple of questions, guys. All right. Something feels super fishy, bro. All right. And obviously this was also premeditated. She planned this kind of ahead of time, but she planned to basically abandon her children in a household where there were domestic issues. Nice. All right. Listen, if there's any more, we'll jump into it. But in the meantime, if you guys are new here, please like and subscribe, and I'll catch you guys later.